Hello and welcome back to Peanut Butter Neya time. You're here with Neya, your host. All right, I just got back from Coachella. Um, Honestly, I don't want to say it, but it was so good. I think it definitely lived up to all the hype and was so great and also so disappointing. But let me get into that in just a moment. All right. So let's just start from the beginning. Honestly, why? Let's just start with why I wanted to go to Coachella. I think um it's something that I've just seen on social media, in like magazines, in the news for years. Like I think since I was maybe since 2015. Yeah. Coachella is just so iconic. And it's just something that I feel like was a once in a lifetime, was on my bucket list forever. And so I just was like, I have to go. I need to see what this is about. Need to do it. I'm now an adult. I have money. I work hard. This is the stuff that I need to spend my money on. That's how I felt. Um, I do think it's like probably one of the biggest festivals in not only the US but in the world. Probably like up there with like Tomorrowland, Burning Man. Like these are all things that like people know about, like Glastonbury. Big things, big things, world things. I also liked Coachella because I always felt like it was a very fun and chill vibe. And I also liked the music. Like it's got pop music, it's got rap, it's got like indie, alt. It's the whole thing. Um, so yeah, I've always wanted to go to Coachella, and I just felt like it was getting to the point where like I had to do it soon, or else it was too late. Not too late in the sense of like having fun, but just being able to like align it in a time that I could go in life. So yeah. So we actually booked our tickets in July 2021. So you actually have to book like Coachella a year in advance. Honestly, I feel like they build off the hype of the year before. So they're like, Coachella just happened, and then they'll just start advertising straight away like the next Coachella. Um, and so yeah, I was super keen. Oh, sorry, I booked July 2022, not 2021. So I booked like in July 2022 and kind of like forgot about it for quite a while. And then in December, I was like, oh my God, like we're going to Coachella in April. Need to start booking things. And so, yeah, my advice is to definitely book early and plan like what you want to do in terms of like, because honestly, we missed the GA tickets because we kind of forgot that it was going on sale. But we had decided that we wanted to go, like me and my friends. So we ended up buying a hotel package. And anyway, we were going to like not camp because honestly, it's just too old for camping. That's like something you do when you're 18 or like maybe max 25. But when you hit like 28, no. Sorry. No, when you hit 28, just know like you're not camping. You don't need to camp. You go there and you enjoy yourself. Like spend a little money. So we did the hotel package. I considered staying at an Airbnb, but I had spoken to friends like the year before who went, and they did say that an Airbnb, like the risk was that. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy. I have like such a sensitive nose. Yeah, they had said that the year before, like they had gone and they said, Airbnb is really good, but there is this risk sometimes that like people can just cancel on you because they get like a better rate, a better offer. And I was super like, I feel like that just made me super anxious, and I didn't really want to have to worry about accommodation at all. Like I didn't want to have to be concerned that our Airbnb was going to fall through, because I think that's really like daunting and scary. So I was not signing up for that. So, and then I also looked at Airbnb costs and compared it to the hotel, and I just felt overall the hotel was just a good plan, because you get the shuttle pass inside of your price. It includes the GA ticket. And then yeah, and what I did was I strategically chose the closest hotel to Coachella. This honestly, future Tanea was very proud of past Tanea. Well, present Tanea in that moment at Coachella was very happy with past Tanea's decisions, because yeah, I strategically chose a hotel that was max. I think La Quinta is only a 10-minute drive on a normal day to Coachella, which is like the Empire Polo Club. That's where it's originally. That's what the location is called. And so that was a great decision, because in Coachella traffic, that's like a 30-minute drive, and that's the fastest you're gonna get home. And so yeah, hotel perfect. Someone makes you a bed every day. You come home to a shower and a bed, and it's all I wanted. And then the other thing that we did was we booked a car. So I kind of went back and forth on like, oh, should we catch the shuttle from LA? Because there's like a Coachella shuttle. And I was like, you know what? No, let's just rent a car and have a chill time before and then arrive at Coachella like with ample time. So what we did was we booked our package and then we actually purchased an extra day. So we purchased to arrive on the Thursday, which I think was a really good decision because like, it was nice to just get to Coachella on the Thursday and not the Friday, because or else you'd have to get there on the Friday and get changed, get ready, and then go on the same day. And I think that's just super overwhelming. So I think it was like an extra 500. I want to say it was like an extra 500 USD per person, or maybe less than that, like 400 for an extra night. So overall, the package was $2,000 per person. So that includes your 4 days, 4 nights, 5-day accommodation, plus the GA ticket, which is 3 days, general admission ticket, and then the shuttle bus. So I think that's all up going to be relatively close to what you would pay going Airbnb, buying the ticket separately and like finding your own accommodation, plus finding Ubers or a private car or whatever to get to Coachella. So I think whatever it is, Coachella's never going to be cheap unless you like camp. Even that is still like 500 USD for the ticket. So I think you just like swallow the cost and you just try and get like the best comfort you can for yourself within budget. So yeah, we decided to go to Coachella a day before. And before that, I was like, why don't we go to Joshua Tree for like 3 days? Be super nice to chill, have a relaxing time, because Coachella is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is super exhausting. You need to like make sure you have managed your energy really well. So we went to Joshua Tree 3 days before, and that was super nice. Like we spent the day doing some trails in Joshua Tree, but also just relaxing in the desert. Perfect. I would recommend that for everybody. It was so nice. And then we just drove over to Coachella, which is like an hour drive from Joshua Tree, and it was sweet. It was so good. We ended up hiring our car for like 400 USD over like a week because we had driven from LA as well. And I think that was like a really good price, and overall just split between like 4 people, very decent. I know people who they got an Uber from like Vegas to Coachella, and it was like 400, 500 US dollars. And I was just like, oh, it's so expensive. Plus I guess like flying and stuff is really expensive too. So, it's just cost after cost, can't avoid it. But so that was a build up to Coachella, like how we bought our packages, flights. The one thing I didn't say was I booked my flight in December to go to the US, and that was a really good decision. I think if you can be as organized as possible with just your flights getting to America and then like sort of the internal flights once you're there, it's fine. I only paid $780 return with United from Hong Kong to SF, and then from Chicago to SF to Hong Kong. So that was like 3 flights. 780 is really, really good price. So my top tip is book before like the new year, of when you go into like the Coachella New Year, just book like in December. Okay, so like getting into Coachella, we are there, we arrive. Honestly, La Quinta was so beautiful and I was so excited. The grounds are really nice. The rooms are pretty decent. We stayed in a 2 queen bed room, so there's 4 of us. And that was actually like pretty spacious. When we went in, we just moved like the desk around and some chairs, which gave us like more space to put our suitcases, and everyone had their like place to put things, get ready. So we're coming into like Friday. So Friday was the first day of Coachella. It was really annoying because for some reason like Coachella decided to do the will call pickup for wristbands like on the Friday morning. I think usually they do it on the Thursday and Friday. So you had to go at like 10 a.m. and line up, which didn't take too long, but probably like a 30-minute wait to go pick up your like wristbands. And then, so we woke up on the Friday at 9 a.m. Our plan was to get there at 2 to Coachella because it's the first day. We want to like suss everything out, see what the vibe is. So yeah, we woke up at 9, and literally like every minute of that time was used like getting ready, like getting the tickets, came back, getting ready, getting changed. And it's just like you have a different level of energy on the first day. I think I reckon we had like too high of an expectations on the first day. Like I think we were so excited that we were just waiting to get to Coachella, and like we just had so much energy. So we woke up at 9 and we just spent like 5 or 6 hours getting ready, and then we were on the bus by like 2 p.m. Shuttle bus, honestly, my favorite thing about Coachella was the shuttle bus. It was so good. Like every time I hopped on that shuttle bus, I just felt so at peace that I didn't have to do anything to like find an Uber, find a car. I just like hopped on there, showed them my card, and sat down, and it took me to Coachella. It was so sweet. So we arrive, and I was like, oh my God, it's so exciting. I think I was a little flustered on the first day because I just felt like it was overstimulating. There was so much to do and see, plus like trying to just find your bearings and how you're managing like the festival. We purchased a locker in advance. Really recommend that. We got a medium-sized locker which fits like so much stuff. Like 4 of us shared it. Could fit everything in there, like our jackets, snacks, drinks, whatever. So yeah. Top tip, make sure you pack a jacket. It doesn't matter if it's big, just get a locker, and you can all like 10 people could share one locker. You could fit all your jackets in there if it's like a puffer jacket. Because at nighttime you really need it. So yeah, first day, get our stuff in the locker. Locker line. Oh my God. Sorry, my microphone just attacked me. First day, the locker situation was a bit of a nightmare because you had to like wait in line to show your QR code to get your locker allocated to you and fill out some random ass like waiver that like was I feel like it was a bit like amateur for Coachella considering how many years they've been running. They should have just like texted you the locker code and your locker number. Anyway, so it took us like half an hour to wait for the locker, which was kind of annoying and was a bit of a buzzkill because as I was saying, I feel like we had so much energy and it just needed to be like outputted somewhere. So yeah, then we finally get the locker done, go to the bathroom, and yeah, started to go watch some acts. So I think that the error we made on the first day was because we got there at like 2:30. We were in the sun from like 2:30 to 5:30, and that's like pretty tiring. It's 3 hours of sun. It makes you really exhausted. Like I think, to be fair, this Coachella was a lot cooler than other years, but you could still feel it like in the sun. It was pretty tiring. So once the sun set, I feel like the vibe was a bit better because you just weren't like being harassed by the sun and like doesn't zap your energy. My favorite set of the first day was Blink-182. So they were a surprise performance. They announced it on like the Thursday. Absolutely amazing. Like I was born probably at the tail end of like Blink-182, being old enough to listen to them, but they're just such a good band, and it was incredible. They were at the Sahara stage, which is like a kind of like a half dome, like open thing, dome but not dome. And it was incredible. Like the amount of people that went to that set was crazy. I just felt like I was like, oh my God, there's so many people. It's kind of overwhelming. But they were incredible and so good. Like my favorite of day one. And it was great because they had the best set time, which was like a 6:30. So by the middle of their set, like the sun was setting, you could just look around and it just felt like so surreal. You were like, am I like, this is like, I don't know. I feel like it was very euphoric and I was like, this is living, you know, just like the energy was really, really great. So yeah, saw Blink-182. Then we saw Gorillas, which were really good. But the first night was really cold. So it actually got really cold, and I think like I was wearing a skirt and like a jacket, and then I put another jacket on top, but my toes felt like really numb by the end of the night. So really bring that jacket and put it in a locker. Just do it. Day one was interesting because it ended kind of like awkwardly. So Bad Bunny had a set, and I have always like honestly not really known about Bad Bunny until Coachella, and then I was like, who is this guy? Like everyone talks about him. But his music's really great. I actually really enjoy him. And my friend who is Venezuelan, she was telling me about like the importance of Bad Bunny and like why people really respect him because you know he raps and sings about some political issues, but just like very more meaningful than I know because obviously I don't speak Spanish. So yeah, I was kind of excited to see him. And he was the last set, so I think his set started like 11. He was pretty good, and then it was just a bit awkward because like they brought up Post Malone, and Post Malone was playing the guitar, Bad Bunny was like singing, and then this audio of the guitar just like was breaking up and then just stopped working, and like I think they both didn't realize that it wasn't working, but then Bad Bunny was like realized, and he tried to grab like singing microphone, which I guess is very different to like it takes the audio in really differently, and tried to hold it at the guitar whilst Bad Bunny played the guitar, and it just didn't work. It was just very awkward. Like they're trying to figure out what to do, and then for some, yeah, I mean, Bad Bunny had asked the crowd, "Do you want me to speak Spanish or English?" And they said Spanish. So then he just continued to speak Spanish. But he spoke Spanish to Post Malone, and I feel like Post Malone did not understand what he was saying. Like the communication was off. It was a bit awkward to observe. But anyway, they just continued to sing it, even though no one could hear them because they're like so far away. Like Post Malone continued to play the guitar, Bad Bunny song, and then he said goodbye to him. It was very weird, very strange. The act continued, and then but Bad Bunny's set went for like 2 hours, and so kind of towards the end, I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Like, let's just go home. Because honestly, your energy at 1:30 is just like zapped. So yeah, we caught the shuttle home, super easy. Literally, just walk to the shuttle line and wait there under your like hotel, your allocated hotel, and then you just get the bus, and it's really easy. What I will say is the first day kind of sucked at nighttime because they had put acts like on stages that were probably like an 800-meter walk each time. So we went back and forth, and we ended up walking like 20 something thousand steps that day, and I think that was really tiring at that point. And I think also that first day at around 6 p.m. is when it got really busy. And that's when I realized, holy crap, there are so many people that go to Coachella. Because when you were walking, like it's like Shibuya crossing. Like people are crossing, but at such a fast speed because everyone's walking really fast to get to the different sets. And like if you stopped, honestly, you would just like be plowed over. It was like really scary, but also kind of cool. Anyway, so that was the end to day one. I think the vibe was okay. I would say. I feel like we had maybe too much energy, didn't really know what to do with it, like too much expectation. But then we roll into day two. I think day two from the start just had way better energy. So instead of eating at Coachella like we did on the first day, Alex and I decided to go to get like acai bowls and Panda Express. So I think we got in that night at like 3 a.m., fell asleep, woke up at like 11:30. So I ended up having a decent amount of sleep. And then we went to go Panda Express, and that was so good. Like it was like $13 for like a huge meal, and Alex and I shared it. And then we went into Coachella at around 4. And day two, when I say it was like the best day, it just honestly everything about it was perfect. Like we arrived, the girls got some food, and then we went to go see Anderson .Paak, who was in the Heineken lounge. So Heineken had like their separate little tent thing, but and it's only for like 21 plus. But when we first got there was this huge ass long line. I was like, oh my god, how are we gonna get in? And I saw that you could enter in through the food hall area, so we were trying to get through there. But then when we got there, the security guards were like, oh no, now you need to go through the other line. And I was like, well, that line you're just never gonna get in. So I was like, why don't we just watch it from here, from the food hall, because you could like hear and see a lot. Like you can't see Anderson .Paak, but you could hear like decently. But then we kind of just sat, and we had kind of accepted we weren't going to get in. And then I saw the security guard. They switched security guards at one of the gates. And these people just like walked in, and the security guard said nothing. And I was like, Alex, I think they just walked in, like go try. And then Alex just like walked in, and the guy said nothing. Like he looked at him, but he was like, I felt like he was quite lazy. He didn't like actually act on it. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go try. So then I went and we got in, and I was like, wow. So that was kind of perfect and really unexpected. But yeah, we got into the tent and we watched Anderson .Paak do a DJ set live. So he didn't sing, he just DJ'd. The man has got great taste, I've got to say. Like he's just a phenomenal artist. I've seen him live with Silk Sonic. Insanely good. But just has such great taste in music. Just a great entertainer. That was 4 to 6:30. So he did a pretty long set, like an hour and a half, but we stayed for pretty much all of it. And the perfect thing about his set was it was in a tent with a shade. So we spent like an hour and a half, that hour and a half of sun, we were in the shade. So that's what I mean, like day two was just so much better. We were better like organized and like better prepared and made better decisions of like not being in the sun. So yeah, day two, starting off with Anderson .Paak, just the best decision ever. Then after Anderson .Paak, we had a bit of time, and I think we saw like Mura Musa, which was really good. And then we saw Rosalia. And okay, the thing about Rosalia is I had listened to her music a little bit before on Spotify, but I wasn't excited to see her. My Venezuelan friend was like, you should see her, she's really, really good. Like she likes her music, and I didn't really think about I didn't prioritize seeing Rosalia, but we had an open slot, so we just went to go watch her show. And honestly, the best decision ever of Coachella because she was insanely good. And now, like all of us that went, me and my friends we are Rosalia. I don't know why I keep saying Rosalia. Rosalia like fans. Her voice is absolutely incredible and her performance was insane. Because instead, some people had like used the cameras just to show like the screens. They just showed visuals, which is super boring for like somebody who's so far away. You're just like looking, you're like, okay, great. That's an awesome laser visual doing nothing for me because that means nothing to me. But then she actually like played around with the camera. She got like a selfie camera. She put a camera on a scooter and like rode around. She was just very artistic about it, but it was super engaging and just really awesome. She knows how to work the camera, like facial expressions. Like my goal is to now be Rosalia as a performer, but still Rihanna as the overall person. But yeah, Rosalia was absolutely insane, and I think if she ever had a concert, I would go see it. That's how well she performed. She converted somebody who was never really into her music, but her voice is insane. So I'm a huge follower now. So then we roll over after Rosalia was Blackpink. Okay, I have so many opinions on this. Let me tell you. But first, we're gonna pause for a peanut butter break. All right, so I just want to talk about like in the US. We're not pitching this is a cool thing that I saw in the US. So they do like peanut butter tabs. So like peanut butter squares and like little packets, like a little packet, like a gel pack if you're running in a marathon or something like that, right? And yes, it's got, I think it's like 100 grams of peanut butter inside of that. And you can just eat it. I love that. Like it's like a little IV line for peanut butter, which is just perfect for me, who's like obsessed with peanut butter. So that's just like my small pitch here. Just I tried Justin's peanut butter tabs in the US, and I think I've spoken about Justin peanut butter before, but he does like different types of nut butters. But great. I really wish that they would bring that to Hong Kong sometime soon. But if you see them at your Whole Foods or at your supermarket, get on them, people. They're so good. All right, so Blackpink time. Okay, Blackpink, like, first of all, I was not very thrilled that they were headliners. Just not because I don't like them, just I don't like them that much. But I like them as people. I watched their documentary. I think they're kind of cool. I like their energy as people. Not that big of a fan of their music. I feel like I've only listened to a few songs and I like the big ones. I think they sound good, but the rest of them I'm just like not that into. I'm not that into K-pop music. Full stop. Okay. So I was not that thrilled about seeing them. I was like, I'll just go because like they're a headliner. Quite a lot of people, but also like not that many people. I think that they were kind of a polarizing performance because people were kind of into, like, some people were like super diehard and most people were just like, whatever. Anyway, so when they started, absolutely incredible. I think their first 3 songs were so good. The energy was like, woo! I was like, oh my God, am I a Blink? I don't know. Anyway, so they start, and their first 2 songs were like Do Do Do, How You Like It Now, that one, and Pink Venom. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But those 3 songs were really good. The energy was so great. But then the 4th song, literally they dropped off so hard in the 4th song. And I saw Rosé's face on the big screen and I swear I literally saw her soul leave her body. Like the energy just zapped and she was just like, you could see that she was like kind of out of focus and just like not really like feeling it, which kind of made me sad because I was like, oh, well, your energy got zapped. Like, do you even want to be here? Kind of is how I felt. But I think in general, I don't think it's like a them problem. I think it's their schedule is too packed by their team. Because I think like 3 days before Coachella, they were performing it like somewhere in Asia, like Manila maybe. I think that's just too intense to be just doing that performance so close to such a big like festival. And also just like, it's a very Korean style, but they just dance so much, which is great, but also not great for their vocals. It just doesn't help them like keep up good vocals. So yeah, Blackpink was okay. Also, it was really weird because like you're headlining as Blackpink, but then after 4 songs, they chose to do this solo show. So it all went black and dark for like 5 minutes, and then it was just like the backup dancers did like a whole dance, and then they came out and did like Jennie by herself, then Jisoo, then Rosé, and then Lisa. And obviously that's because I want to do like solo careers later on. But it was just like a weird break as a viewer. It just felt like it ruined the energy of the overall concert. But what I do have to say is, if Blackpink and such, when they do die in terms of like the band itself, like break up, Lisa is going to be 100% the most successful. Like Lisa is a pop star. Like she is a star on her own. She can dance, she can sing, she has great personality. She is like all her energy every time. She's the one giving it like 100%. The other three, like not not got the stamina. That's all I have to say. So yeah, Blackpink was like whatever. But then after Blackpink, there was Eric Prydz, which was pretty good. He had like a DJ set and like had a nice, cool like hologram visual. And then it was Calvin Harris. And honestly, yeah, Calvin Harris. He was essentially the headliner on day two. Like so many people were there. But yeah, incredible and super great to see him in live like once. And honestly, every single song he sang was a banger. Like it's like you, ooh, ooh, you. Okay, no one needs to hear me sing, but the energy was great. Okay, so that was the end of day two. And oh yeah, so after Calvin Harris, because so many people were at Calvin Harris, it was insane how many people left at the same time. At one point, just imagine like 125,000 people walking at one time to one space to go home. There was like literally a stop, like a stand. Everyone just stood and it was just like no movement because people were trying to go around a bend. And there's the only point where I was like, oh my God, a bit worried about like a stampede and just the energy. But people, what I would say at Coachella generally is everybody was very calm, chill. No one was crazy. Like everyone was just really well behaved. Even if they were like on drugs or like drunk or whatever, everyone was just like really well behaved and really great like temperament. And it just made really good vibes for the whole of Coachella. So yeah, that night we got home, I think by like 3, showered, was in bed by like 3:45, fell asleep. And then we roll over to day 3. Day 3, I definitely woke up feeling tired. Like I was like, the marathon is starting to hit me. It's the last like 10 kilometers. Here we go. So we woke up at like 11. This time we decided to all go get food at Panda Express. So we had a big meal together as the 4 of us, had like a nice smoothie, filled our bellies up, and then we headed in at about like 4. And day 3 was the big headliner with Frank Ocean. Was super excited to see him. And don't I have a story for you guys? So yeah, I think day 3, what I would say is I think the food at Coachella is really good, and it's definitely at the price of like the LA price is like $15 for a smoothie, like that energy. The food is good, but by day 3, I think you're ready to eat like something else because it's all just like Korean fried chicken or like generally fried chicken, pizza, chips, like sandwiches and stuff like that. But yeah, I think you can afford to probably like eat before you go and then like have a snack while you're there for dinner. Just like eat one meal there and eat off hours. Like try not to eat at 6 p.m. when everyone else is eating 6 p.m. Like eat at like 4:30. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about Frank Ocean for day 3 because that's all that needs to be talked about. So yes, Frank Ocean has not performed live for 6 years. Everyone was so excited to see him. When I say everyone, I mean like the whole of Coachella. And at his set, the whole of Coachella was there. Like everybody for weekend 1 was there. So I think the last set that finished that I watched was around like 8:30. So I had Frank Ocean starting at 10 p.m. So we have an hour and a half, right? So we already waited and chilled for an hour and a half. And then the stage that he was performing at was a Coachella stage. The last set finished at 9 p.m. on that stage. So they have an hour to turn over the stage. So I think around 9:30 p.m. everyone was moving over to the Coachella stage to prepare for Frank Ocean and get their spot. Like that is how much people wanted to see Frank Ocean. Like even for Calvin Harris, it was more casual. Like people just like sauntered over like when the other set finished. Like no one was trying to like wait. So we get to Frank Ocean and we're already like pretty deep back. Not the whole space, but I would say like maybe like 400 meters. No, maybe 350 meters away from the front of the stage. So we're all sitting for a while and we're all just like relaxing. And then at 10 o'clock, everyone gets like really excited because that's when he's supposed to come on. And they all stand up. So because everyone's standing up, like we all have to stand up as well or else maybe we'll get trampled on. So we all start standing and then you can visibly see it's not ready. Like there's all these people on stage like changing the lights and they were doing this light thing for like an hour. So we kept being like, oh, maybe he'll come on like in 20 minutes, blah, blah, blah. No, an hour passes. The man is not on the stage. We were just like, where are you? Anyway, so I think at that point, we had waited 2 hours. Wait, no, 8:30. No, 2 hours and a half, right? Yeah, 2 hours and a half for this man to come on stage. That is a long time. Your legs are so tired already from walking everywhere, like the last 2 days, plus this whole day pretty much. So yeah, luckily it wasn't cold, but yeah, everyone was getting pretty tired. I feel like everyone was kind of getting antsy. Like everyone was just like, come on, man, like get on stage. So he finally comes at 11 p.m. and he kind of his whole set was very artistic, cinematic, like used the whole screen. I understand the vibe he was going for. It was cool, but then also like I've been waiting 2.5 hours for you. Just like show me more of yourself. So he started his performance behind the installation, kind of hiding. Then he had like a live band set up. So it was kind of supposed to be like, I feel like as if you were home and watching him like do a garage performance. I feel like that was the energy he was going for. So he sang like 2 songs and then he kept like stopping in between every song for like, I swear, like 3 minutes, like talking to his like guitarist, talking to his pianist about like whatever it was. And the energy was supposed to be like that garage, like performance. But I think at the same time, like everyone had been waiting so long, they were like, give us the energy, like do something. His voice was amazing live, like really great. But it was just a very confusing set overall is what I would say. So, yeah, he performs like 5 songs. And he also sung like maybe 2 of his big songs, but didn't even sing it the normal way. And I'm all for like live band and like giving us instrumentals. Great. But at the same time, sometimes you just want to hear the song like the original way. It's like play the instrumentals, but keep it to the same like tempo and like how the song is like when you hear it on the radio. So yeah, he would sing it, but it was like a very slowed down version, very mellow. It just gave off like a different energy. But then, right, so he sings 5 songs and he runs off the stage. This rave DJ starts performing his songs, like some of his biggest songs, in a rave DJ way. And honestly, great. I understand what you're going for, like, because he came out and explained, like, oh, I watched like all these DJs at like different places during COVID and I want to showcase them. Like, cool, great. But also we're here to see you, not see a rave DJ play some of your biggest songs. Just a hot tip, you know? And so I get that artistically, but then he came back out after the rave DJ and it actually like frustrated everyone so much. But he played like 6 songs and he would, okay, this is my drink bottle. I'm using it as a microphone. What he would do is like the song, they were playing it live with the band and then the backing track was playing and then he was singing, but he would hold his microphone like down, like wouldn't put it at his mouth. I was like, put the goddamn microphone on your mouth so I can hear you sing live. But he just didn't do it. And then he proceeded to even put the microphone down, run around and just sing, but not have the microphone in his mouth. And I was perplexed because I was like, why would you not just sing into the microphone? It was really frustrating. It was just like you were kind of getting into it, but then you were totally not getting into it because you were confused as to why are you not singing live and just giving me what I want. So yeah, the whole Frank Ocean energy was just so strange and like very like there were moments where like I got really into it almost and then he just did something weird to like cut the energy. But I mean, I understand the cinematic experience, very nice, whatever. But then he runs off stage after like these 6 songs of singing without the microphone to his mouth. And then you would not believe it. Wait for it. Are you ready? He just comes over the microphone and is like, hey guys, I've just been told we hit curfew. I'm sorry guys, that's the end of the show. And literally when I say like everybody gasped, everyone was like, oh, but then they still had the screen on and people were still playing the music. So we were like, okay, maybe he's joking. Like this is just wild. Because we had waited 2.5 hours for this man to come out. Like he was an hour late to his set. And then people started to be like, are you serious? Like you were late to your set by an hour. So it was just like a lot of mixed emotions. And Alex got nervous that like the crowd was going to respond badly. And I was kind of also waiting for that too. But to be honest, everyone just kind of like accepted it. And like it was like a defeat. They're like, oh, what? And then just that was it. No one was like crazy, like angry and like yelling or anything. And I genuinely think it's because everyone was kind of having a shit time at his set because everyone was so confused by what was happening. Yeah. So then So then they officially turned all the lights off and everyone was like even more shocked because they're like, oh my God, it's actually happening. And everyone just turned around and walked home. But like that was the most lackluster and disappointing ending to Coachella. That's why I was saying it was also really disappointing as overall because that was the end. That was like day 3, done. That's your Coachella experience like finished. So yeah, I don't know whose fault that was, but not great, Frank. Not great. We have theories. Apparently, like he wanted to have like an ice skating rink and they built one for him. And then, like 30 minutes before the show, he was like, I don't want it anymore. And they had to remove it. Whatever it is, I think he was being a diva to like some degree because why were you an hour late? You know what I mean? Like, there's a curfew in your performance. We've all paid like a lot of money. We're all so excited to see you. And then you just come out an hour late and then you finish your show at like 12:30 early. It just blows our minds. Like, I don't know. I just think he kind of annoyed me because I feel like he's just too like incognito and too inaccessible that it just ruined the vibe. So he was amazing when he sang live, but he was also super disappointing. And I think he pissed off a lot of people. And then I love it because it's so funny. He pulled out of Coachella weekend too, saying he got a broken foot. Maybe he did. I don't know. Whatever. But like, just disappointing in general. But putting that aside, absolutely loved Coachella. And I wanted to give you some hot tips. If you guys are planning to go, definitely do it once in your lifetime. It's so worth it. So much fun. 1, take photos before you go to Coachella. There are literally so many people that it's so hard to get a photo without like all these people walking your background. Like it's just crazy. And I think last year they only had like 90,000 people at Coachella. That was a cap for a weekend. And then they increased it to like 125,000, which is mind-boggling. I feel like they're only going to increase it every year. So just take good photos beforehand so you have like the memes. Good shoes. I wore Converses, but I added like an extra inner sole to my Converses to ensure that they were like soft and absorbent. Do that. I would highly recommend getting Hydrolyte. We brought some with us and then we would put them in our drink bottles like at nighttime and drink it. Just gave you the electrolytes, made you feel like way better and like not dehydrated. Worst thing is dry mouth. Just saying. Coachella is really good about refillable water. So actually, the first day we brought like a small 500 milliliter like compactable bottle that you could like close up. But then we were like, oh, there's so much water accessible. They let you bring in bigger bottles. Just bring in a bigger bottle. We brought in a liter bottle each, and it saved us from going back and forth too many times. Do not arrive during this like when the sun's there. Like just don't avoid spending too much time in the sun. Like maybe an hour, but no more than like 2 hours. Please, because you get really like tired. Get a locker. I've said that before, but super valuable. Put all your stuff in it. Just makes it easier. Pick the closest accommodation to Coachella. If you're Airbnb, pick somewhere that's like literally in the area because it saves you so much time and gets you a lot more time back for sleep. Just get a shuttle pass. Honestly, I would just say just book the hotel package. I just think it's the best option unless you're going with like heaps of people and you have a really great option of accommodation of Airbnb nearby. I would recommend you not to drink. Like we actually didn't drink because we just felt like it would conserve our energy better. And there's other options of like you can, because like California is legal to take weed, so you can do that if you want to. And then I would say my last thing would probably be like go with people that have good energy or on your level of energy. The great thing about our group was like we're all the similar temperament. We're all similar in terms of the experience that we wanted out of Coachella. I feel like if you're not a crazy like person that wants to do all this, like, you know, that's on a really high energy, like don't go with somebody that is, because it will stress you out and it will definitely like maybe dampen your experience because it can be a lot. So just go with people that are on the same wavelength of whatever experience that you want to have, right? I wouldn't go with someone with crazy energy that wants to like be like really hyper all the time. It's just too much for me for that experience. But overall, I think you all should go to Coachella once in your lifetime. It was so much fun. I highly recommend it. I really, really enjoyed it. And if I lived in LA, I would totally go every year. So I get why people do that. But I feel like I can go every 2 years, maybe every 3 years. We'll see. But thanks for watching and listening. See you in the next podcast. Bye.